I'm pissing off the neighbors. Whether homegrown or imported, we feeling shorted, cause we waiting on our paper. So next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Yeah, you don't know about the day, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the Motor City, nothing is as pretty as the hustle. You don't know about the day, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the Motor City, everything ain't pretty but it's love though. Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, when we get you back on our feet. Yeah.
Hello, good morning. What's up, y'all? What is up, everybody? Welcome to Spike Kool-Aid. 1 week into the offseason, and it seemed like so long ago, man, that the Lions were on the field, but we just getting started. Goodness, man, I did not think I would miss Lions football this much. I don't miss the NFL season as much as I miss the Lions, man. If we just had one more game. What's up, everybody? What's up, Volcano Jeff, Vash, Aaron, Patty, Finkel in the building. What's up, Dern? What's going on, man? I wanted to make sure you got the noti, man, since you said you don't get the notifications. But listen, this will be our last show, obviously, until Monday. Hopefully we'll have some stuff to talk about on Monday. The NFL playoffs are starting tomorrow. We're going to talk about that. I am thinking about having an NFL show on NFL Syndicate because I love the National Football League, and it's so much stuff to talk about. I don't know if I can make it one segment. I really don't, but we're going to, I guess we'll do this. We're going to get straight. We're going to do the NFL segment first because I always run out of time for this segment, and then we'll go on with the Detroit Lions. All right, so let me fade this in, and let me get this recording. Super Wildcard Weekend is tomorrow, and we have 6 teams. The Lions, unfortunately, were a half game shy of making the playoffs. So much news is coming in that I might have to put a live show on this channel where we talk about the entirety of the NFL. A lot of big news coming out today. We're going to try to wrap this up. I wanted this segment to be about the wild card and my picks for this weekend. We got 6 games going on this weekend, but I got to address this, man, because so much is going on. So first things first, Sean McVay has decided that he's going to return as the Rams head coach. I don't understand what is going on with Sean McVay, why every year it's, we win the Super Bowl, I'm going to retire. This year it was, we got the worst Super Bowl record after a Super Bowl, I'm going to retire. You said that you were going to take some time away. It has been less than 7 days since your last game, and you have decided that you're going to stay. Make up your mind. That's number one. Number two, Aaron Rodgers is going to take his time. Didn't he just say that he wasn't going to hold the team hostage? And now, according to NFL.com, Aaron Rodgers, the drama king, I almost called him a queen, the drama diva, is going to take time to decide What is it for you to decide? You just said anyway. So that's number 2. Number 3, Jim Caldwell told the Washington Commanders to the no, I only want a head coaching job. They wanted to interview him for the OC. I believe it was the offensive coordinator, some coordinator position. He said no. And kudos to Jim Caldwell. He has been the sidekick since he got fired from Detroit. And he has been trying and failing to get a head coaching job. The man is, I want to say, almost 70 years old. Did a fantastic job while he was here in Detroit. And he is one of those coaches that every single year he does this, and every single year he gets shot down. So he has declined the position or an interview for the Washington Commanders for one of their coordinator positions. He only wants to be a head coach. Now, let's get into the root of this video. We got 6 games happening this weekend. We have 2 games tomorrow, which is Saturday the 14th. We've got 3 games on Sunday, and we have 1 game on Monday night. The NFL decided to do that last year. Back in the day, we used to get 3 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, back in the day, as in 3 years ago. But because of the extra week of games, they have decided to push the Saturday game, take 1 away, and put it Monday. All right? And unfortunately, my Detroit Lions are not in there. But we've got 6 games happening this weekend. There are 13 games left in the NFL season, including the Super Bowl. There are 12 this month, and then obviously 1 next month, the Super Bowl, the biggest game of the year. So who do I think is going to win? The number 7 Seattle Seahawks will go to Levi Stadium and face the 49ers. Let's just get this out the way. I think the Seahawks going to get mollywopped. Levi Stadium is a hard place to play. The 49ers have not lost a game in like 3 months. There's no way, in my opinion, that the Seahawks stand a chance. Even I would give the Lions a better chance if they would have went. Had they been the 7th seed, they would have went. I still think they would have lost, but I would have given them a better chance than the Seattle Seahawks. Expect the 49ers to win that game. This one's going to be good. Tomorrow night, 8:15, Chargers have to go into Jacksonville and play the AFC South champion 9-8 Jacksonville Jaguars. That's going to be a good game. I'm going to pick the Chargers to win that game. I think the Chargers have been on the outside looking in. I think they're going to win tomorrow. Mike Williams, I can't remember if he's in or out. Eckler, I think that the Chargers are going to finally exercise those demons, those playoff demons, and they're going to get in. They're going to win a playoff game. They've been on the outside looking in for years, and I think they're going to get the dub tomorrow. This game shouldn't even be allowed, in my opinion. On Sunday, we've got the Buffalo Bills hosting the tourless Miami Dolphins. Just found out that their running back is going to be out. They are going to get smashed. It's not even going to be a thing. They limped. They are another team similar to the Chargers that is going to get in, have been on the outside looking in, just missing out. They barely made it. They only made it because the New England Patriots had to face the Buffalo Bills. Outside of that, the Dolphins would have been outside again. The Miami Dolphins are going to get mollywopped. No Tua. Listen to what I'm saying to y'all. They got Skylar Thompson starting against the Buffalo Bills. It ain't happening. This will not be a Tim Tebow moment. It's not happening. The Bills are going to run a muck on the Miami Dolphins. Sunday at 4:30. I think this game is going to be intriguing. The New York Giants will go into U.S. Bank Stadium and face the Minnesota Vikings. I hate to say it, I got the Vikings winning that game. It would be nice to see the Giants kind of pull off an upset, but I got the the New York Giants falling to the Minnesota Vikings. Now, on Game 5, we have, now listen to this. This game is not going to be fair. Who is the starting quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens? Is it me? Is it somebody in the chat? Huntley is a game time decision. Lamar's not playing. This game is not going to be fair. The Baltimore Ravens have to go into Cincinnati, and you know they're going to be playing. They're not going to be playing around, man, because Cincinnati, the last time we know what happened there, DeMar Hamlin, this team, wow. Wow, that's all I got to say. And I know that Lamar Jackson put out a tweet yesterday trying to let people know he wasn't holding the Baltimore Ravens hostage, that he was legitimately injured. I got the Cincinnati Bengals winning that game. The Cincinnati Bengals started 0-2. They ended the season 12-4. Might have been 12-5. Could have been 13-5 and 4, depending on what happened with that Bills game that had to be canceled. This team is on an absolute roll. Don't forget that Jamar Chase missed a bunch of time this year, but they on an absolute roll. Started the season 0-2. They finished on a 12-2 run to end the season. How about that? I'm taking the Bengals to win that game. And this right here is going to be, I think, the most intriguing matchup of the wild card weekend, Monday night. These two teams started the season, I believe, as opposition, and they're going to end the season. The Cowboys, who laid an absolute egg on Sunday, is going to have to go into Tampa Bay and face the 8-9 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm going to take Thomas Matthias Brady to win that game. I'm going to take him to win that game, bro. I don't trust the Cowboys. I think the real Dak, and I can't wait to see Cowboys fans and see their season end again in the first round. That's going to be crazy. Again, another double-digit season win, okay, and get dropped in the first round. I am taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win. So out of the 6 teams, the 6 games, I'm taking the Niners over the Seahawks. I'm taking the Chargers over the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm taking the Buffalo Bills over the Miami Dolphins. The Minnesota Vikings over the New York Giants. I'm taking the Cincinnati Bengals over, I got to fly out to Baltimore so I can be their quarterback, over those Baltimore Ravens. And I'm taking the Buccaneers because you can't count out Thomas J, bro. Thomas Matthias. You can't count him out at the crib. You can't do it. And you don't know who the Cowboys are, so I'm taking the Cowboys to lose that game, get put out in the first round, and maybe they'll have another debacle like they had last year. Who gets the ball, Dak? I don't know. Does the ref get it? I don't know. So let me know what you guys think about the wild card weekend, and I got those 6 teams progressing to the divisional round. Man, oh man, what's up? Thank you. I wanted to get that out real quick before I forgot. NFL Syndicate, bro. I love the NFL. I might start doing a show. I don't know if it'll be once a week. It's going to be so much stuff to talk about, though. The draft. Where's Derek Carr going to land? What does it, you know what I'm saying? So I might start doing maybe not a daily show over there, maybe once or twice a week as far as NFL Syndicate. I want that channel to be something by the start of the 2023 NFL season. So let me see what y'all got in the chat. Okay, McVay, Seattle upset. Okay, so Patty's taking Seattle to upset. Okay, the 49ers, yeesh. Jacksonville wins, says Patty. Williams is out. Mike Williams, that is, for the Chargers. I like Jacksonville, says Jeff Buffalo. Bills, Giants, Bengals, really? Okay, all right. My guy, we know we winning. Hey, so that's only because you ain't playing us, bruh. That's only because you ain't playing us, bruh. Come on now. Dak has one playoff win. As healthy as we were to end the year, we probably would have won the Super Bowl if we made the playoffs and we beat Fresh and Fly. Okay. I don't know, man. If we could have beat San Francisco in the first round, we would have went on. We would have had to go on a tear because being the 7th seed, we would have had to play the Eagles in the second. Bro, we would have had to play. Bro, I'm telling you, if we somehow would have made the playoffs and we won and beat those guys, man, we talked about this a week ago. The path to the playoffs would have been the San Francisco 49ers, the Philadelphia Eagles. And then, bro, you would have thought if we played the number 1 and 2 seed, bruh, imagine if somehow, some way, we facing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the hardest opposition would have been out the way. You know what I'm saying? So that would have been crazy. Absolutely crazy. What's up, Josh? What's going on with you? But hey, Zoe, y'all better listen. Just worry about your game, bro. Because worry about Daniel J. Jones and Saquon Barkley and the rest of them. But I do have y'all winning that game. I do. Plus, it'll be good for the channel. It'll be good for the channel. All right, now, let's get into our Detroit Lions. The first thing that I want to talk about, and I'm excited for this, I got to remember what I did with the article, man, because I just had it. I just had it, and I need to be, there it is. There it is. Okay. So the first thing we're going to talk about today, we talked about this earlier this week after the season ended for the Detroit Lions about free agents that we would like to see come back. Now, the Lions have, I want to say, a total of 28 free agents. I think some are restricted, some are unrestricted. And we've got some critical pieces that we need to fill. Okay, Jeff Berg. Okay, you know what? Let me do this because I done messed up the segment. So let me end this real quick. Okay. Well, you know what, Jeff? We'll come back to that. Can I pin this? I can. Okay, Jeff, I'm going to pin that comment because I did not know you could pin. Yes, I did. We're going to talk about that. I made a segment yesterday about DeAndre Hopkins. It was a complete flop. But that tells me that Lions fans are smarter than people want to give them credit for. And that is fantastic. All right. Dern says, odds look pretty good that Ben Johnson gets a head coaching job. Well, we going to see, bro. We going to see. I wouldn't mind if Ben Johnson, if he does get one, if he goes to I want him to be successful because he's coming from Dan Campbell. So I know that DraftKings or Vegas, somebody has the odds high that Ben Johnson takes the Carolina job. I think he's from there or something like that. It's going to be weird because we play them next season. So it's going to be weird for us to play. That's going to be a mess. That's going to be a mess, man, because you know Ben Johnson, if he's not with us, he's going to have to be against us, and he's going to trying to figure out Jared Goff. That makes me very nervous. It really does, man. I don't remember if we play here or we play them there, but that makes me nervous. Hopefully it flames out and he bombed at his interview. Not yet, bro. Let us get a playoff win. If they hire Ben Johnson, I'll be surprised. I'll be surprised because the Carolina Panthers need somebody with some history. They need somebody that they can trust, and I don't know if they can trust. And I'm not saying it as like a guy who wants him to stay. I'm saying we got organizations that are just floundering right now, and they are one of them. I did see that Dennis Allen is going to remain the Saints head coach. If you're just now joining us, Sean McVay tells the Rams that he's going to stay. He's going to stay. Just got a text message from my wife. Her hair is taking longer than usual, and that is hit. That's hit. And Aaron Rodgers is going to take time when he just told them he wasn't going to hold them hostage. All right, so let's do this. Back to the segment. But I got that pin. Jeff, I'll talk about that next. We have a plethora of free agents. Half the active roster are free agents, some restricted, some unrestricted. And there are a few that we've talked about that we want to see, ones that we don't expect to come back and ones that we are hoping that we do. And according to Justin Rogers from the Detroit News, DJ Chark looks to be the play. This looks to be the place that checks off all the boxes, a.k.a. he would not mind staying. Now, we have talked about that at length this week about receivers that we need to bring back. We have looked into the free agent receiver pool. There's not a lot of people there, and I would love to see DJ Chark come back. He does understand that it is a business and that he said he was going to really, pray about it and things like that as far as whether he is going to come back to Detroit or not. One of the quotes from the article is this. as far as DJ Chark and him, what he feels about the Detroit Lions. He said, I'm pretty pleased. Chark said this was before the Green Bay finale. First and foremost, I thank God that I was able to come back and play. When it happened, I really didn't have a timeline or when I'd be back, and it was frustrating. But being able to come back, work my way back into the offense, and also be able to win games, that's been huge for me. The stats, whatever, those are nice too, but knowing that my presence matters is huge. Now, if you remember, he felt like he didn't matter in Jacksonville, and he came here and signed a pretty decent deal. All of his money was guaranteed. He also talks about how everybody shows up and pushes each other to be better teammates. And here's the quote about him staying. He said, according to the article, I have a good relationship not only with the players but the coaches. Obviously, it's a business. You've got to work out the numbers and all of that. But this place checks off all the boxes. I have a good relationship with the coaching staff. I'm used to the city. I've adjusted to the code coming from Florida. I'm a big believer, and I'm going to let my faith go before me, and I feel I'll end up in the right place, he continued. I think this is a great place for me. If it works out, I definitely wouldn't mind sitting here talking to you from the same locker. We just have to see how it goes, but I'm pleased with everything. Even the bumps in the road I had this season, I'm pleased with how things went, end quote. What did you hear in all of that? I heard money, 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 the money, money, money. DJ Chark wants to stay, but he want to get paid. Now, according to my source with the source, he's saying that it might be a multi-year thing he's looking for. It might be a multi-year thing he's looking for. Now, DJ Chark, 1 year, $10 million, all of it guaranteed. He ended the season with 30 catches, 505 yards. I think he had a few touchdowns as well. Let me ask the chat this. When you're watching this in video form in playback, what would you be willing to give DJ Chark? DJ Chark was on a 1-year deal. The question I have for you is, do you believe that he proved it on that prove it deal? And if so, what would you want for DJ Chark? What would you want to give DJ Chark? As far as a second, how many years, how much? Dern says multi-year is fine, but I'm not paying him over $15 million a year. Nick says it comes down to how much money he wants. He's projected for $12.5 a year. Well, Dern says I'd rather draft another wide receiver. Now, in this, I heard I want to stay. This is DJ Chark. This is him. This is if you read in between the lines. He's talking to the reporters, but this is what he's saying in between the lines. I want to stay. I got to talk to Brad and them, and we got to get this money right. He already said he was going to let his faith guide him, but then he goes on to say that he loves it here. It checks off all the boxes. I love to be talking to you. I want to stay. I want to stay. I want to stay, but we got to get this money right. Jeff says 3-year, $35 million. That seems about that $12 million that Nick was talking about. Dern says $12 million a year would be perfect. Now, I will say this. When you start talking about people getting the bag, they got to show up. Look at what happened to Kenny Golladay. Now, I don't wish that on DJ Chark. I'm not saying it's going to happen to DJ Chark. Wouldn't that be an absolute nightmare for that to happen? But I don't think that's going to happen. I think just like Brad Holmes was smart enough to get rid of Kenny Golladay, I think he would be smart enough to make the right decision when it comes to DJ Chark. So let me know in the comments below. DJ Chark apparently wants to stay. He's got to pray about it. He's got to talk to the family. He likes it here. He likes the city. He's adjusted to the code. He also want to make sure there's money right too, which I ain't mad at him. You got to make sure hey, Brad up, brand up. Absolutely. So let me know your thoughts on DJ Chark. Would you want him to stay? He wants to stay. How much would you be willing to give him and for how long? So I'm seeing a little bit of division. Aaron says 3 years, $12 million. fully guaranteed, 2-year, fully guaranteed 18. Okay, if we did the 3-year, how much of that would be guaranteed? Because he wants some guaranteed money. Thomas says, I want to stay. To me equals I'm willing to compromise. I want to win a championship. There you go. Vaz says a 3-year deal is the most I'd go. Got to keep DG as insurance for J-Mo. Oh, man. Okay, who is this? Hey, Mr. Poole, let me see. I don't even know who this guy. He didn't even get a chance to comment. I don't even see his comment. You quick, bro. I don't even see Chicago Blackstone. I don't even see his comment. That's crazy. I don't know how. That is crazy. He looked like he's trying to start trouble. What's up, D. Reese? What's going on, man? Just now joining us, we had an NFL segment. Sean McVay returning. Aaron Rodgers taking his time. Jim Caldwell only wants to be a head coach. And we picked the 6 playoff winners for this weekend. I can't believe the Lions have fans. The Lions will all okay. Yeah, I can't believe y'all got the first pick in the 2022 NFL draft. I can't believe you got a running back for a quarterback. I can't believe you traded for Chase Claypool. Yeah, I can keep going. But I'd be nice. Young punk. All right, I have not forgot about the pinned comment, and I'm glad I put it there so I won't. The Detroit Lions were in desperate need of a kicker, and I know my man Mr. Poole is very high on former Michigan kicker Jake Moody, and he is projected to be one of possibly 3 kickers taken this 2023 NFL draft. Now, with that being said, the Detroit Lions went through 10 kickers between, I want to say, last season, the offseason, and into Game 7 of this season. We finally settled on a guy. His name is Michael Badgley. He came from the Chicago Bears right before we picked him up. I think we picked him up off their practice squad, or they cut him, something like that. He wound up on our team. In his time with the Detroit Lions, he missed 4 field goals. Now, some of them were very critical. He actually missed one on Sunday night against the Green Bay Packers, but thankfully we came out on top and we won that game. His most critical loss was a 29-yarder in the 3-point loss to Buffalo. That hurts my soul because it's so many shoulda, coulda, maybe been in the playoffs. But he is a free agent at 27 years old. He went 24 for 28. He was 4 for 4 in Chicago. So with the Lions, he went 20 for 24. He was 2 for 3 behind 50 yards, with 53 being the longest. Now, my question to you is, should the Detroit Lions be in the market for a kicker? Here are some people that are going to be available outside of the NFL draft. Mason Crosby, Robbie Gould, Greg Zuerlein, Matt Prater, Greg Joseph, and Eddie Pinheiro from Carolina. Now, I am fine with Michael Badgley. The Detroit Lions do not have a 7th-round pick or a 4th. We have 8 picks. We're not going to take all defense. We're going to take some offensive guys. Who knows? We might take an offensive lineman, okay? If we do that, that narrows those picks down even further. Moody, not a bad draft pick. Not a bad draft pick. But I am fine with Michael Badgley. Everybody misses kicks. Everybody misses kicks in crunch time. I don't want anything to do with Crosby. Robbie Gould is solid, but he's also 40. Michael Badgley is 27. Now, Jason Hanson was still crushing him. As a kicker, age is not that big of a deal. Prater's 38. Zuerlein is 35. Crosby is 38. Crosby look about 56 years old. Lord have mercy. Them Packers been mean. Being a Green Bay Packer must be tough. Did y'all know Mason Crosby was 38 years old? I say, oh my God. Wow, I did not know. Man, I'm older than him by 5 years. Holy mackerel. But for me, I'm okay. I'm okay staying with Michael Badgley. 100%. If they feel like they need to draft a kicker, then draft a kicker. But at the same time, we have much bigger holes. And here's why I say that I am okay with Michael Badgley. Getting to Michael Badgley, we had 10 kickers. Austin Seibert. Remember Dominic Eberle, anyone? Remember when he missed a bunch of kicks and you knew that he was going to be cut the next day? We went through 10 kickers to get to Michael Badgley, and we stopped at Michael Badgley, which means that he earned his right to stay on the team. He missed 4 field goals. Kickers are going to miss kicks. Quarterbacks are going to overthrow and underthrow. Receivers are going to drop passes. I am okay with staying with Michael Badgley, who is a free agent. And I think a sneaky one too. This is what I don't want. I do not want the Detroit Lions to go through what they went through with Austin Seibert, we cut Riley Patterson, right? It took us forever to get back to the next Riley Patterson because Riley Patterson was the same as Michael Badgley. And he missed quite a bit in Jacksonville as well. So for me, I'm okay. 4 missed kicks in 24 attempts. That's not bad at all. That's still got to be 75, 80%. You can't miss the short ones, and you got to get, if I'm Michael Badgley, I am working on my distance in the offseason. But let me know what you think. Should the Detroit Lions re-sign Michael Badgley, or do you think that we should draft a kicker or maybe even go after one in free agency? I am okay with Michael Badgley. There's a reason he was on the team for more than half the season. We've seen what having no kicker looks like. We've lost a ton of games with no kicker. So I'm okay. All right, let me see what y'all are saying in the chat. All too old and mediocre, sign Badgley and pick up one in free agency. Vash says, I'd say do not draft a kicker. I am kind of in line with that, unless it's Hansen the kicker is replaceable. Final round kicker Jake Moody would be nice, but how long will Moody be on the board? And how many teams need a kicker? Yeah, and how much do we need, John? How much other stuff than a kicker we need? Matt Prater, no thank you, I'll pass. C. Poole says, I'm good with what we have. If drafting a kicker takes as last or second last pick, yeah, I'm not using a 6th round pick on a kicker, bro. Unless we got some studs with them first. Don't forget, y'all, the Lions draft is top heavy. So most of our, how can I say this? You would expect most of the game changers to come in those first 5 picks. And then we got essentially 2. We got Malcolm Rodriguez and James Houston all over again, right? If Brad Holmes can find those, they were both taken in the 6th round. We have 2 6th round picks. We have no 7th. We have no 4th. We have 1 5th. So as of right now, but Brad Holmes traded up last draft. He traded up the draft before that. That's how we got Derek Barnes. So expect Brad Holmes to trade up. So we could do some type of 2-for-1 where we bring in Moody. That is 100% possible. Nick says he makes 81% of his kicks. Okay, that's not bad. So that's essentially he makes 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. I can live with that. It's easier to get worse at kicker than better. Roddick, I do agree. A little Brad Holmes quote right there, but I agree with you 100%. Badgley wasn't bad. Not all lies started acting like, yeah, he wasn't. He wasn't bad. He was not bad at all. So for me, I would keep him here, no doubt. No doubt. So If you're just now joining us, we talked about the NFL playoffs. Michael Badgley, DJ Chark wanting to remain in Detroit if the money is right. What song was that, man? Was that Bubba Sparks said, get it right, get it tight? Got to get that money tight and get it right. And that will be fantastic for the Detroit Lions to have him back on the roster because, in my opinion, we need somebody that's going to be able to help stretch the field. Help stretch the field, man, because we don't have, like Jamison Williams is still coming alive. So we are going to make sure that he stays on this roster. I hope so anyway. That's what I want. I would love to see that happen. But the Lions have other free agents that they have to worry about as well. Now, we talked about Aiden Hutchinson as well, man. The fact that he should, in my opinion, win Defensive Rookie of the Year. I don't think there's any question about if he should have that or not. Jeff says, I'm good with Badgley. Okay, you know what, Jeff? Again, glad I pinned that comment, bro. I'm glad I pinned that. Let's do this right now before I continue to forget. Because you are not the only person that I've heard talk about this. So let's talk about it. I say, oh my God. Alrighty. Wow. Man, oh man. Okay, let me do this real quick. All right. Nope, you know what? I'm fine with the way it is. Okay. All right, I need to mute this because you can see the camera, and I need to mute that real quick. All right, 1 second, y'all. All right, there you go. Lions Mania says, I want Deron Payne. I think a lot of people want Deron Payne. Did anyone drop Ben Johnson having roots? And yes, I did. I want to say Dern said it was this week. He said it was this week that they should do it. They should announce it. Okay. All righty. Got a fantastic question from someone in the chat. Jeff Berg came in and he asked a question. And I think it's a legitimate question because I've heard a lot of Lions fans talk about it, and I wanted to talk about it today. He says, thoughts on the Lions trading for Jalen Ramsey? And I'm going to say that isn't as enticing as that sounds, Jeff, that it is not a legitimate trade in my opinion. Jalen Ramsey is a stud. Jalen Ramsey is also 28 years old. Jalen Ramsey, the Rams have a potential out after 2024. But let me read something to you from Spot Track. Jalen Ramsey signed a 5-year, $100 million contract with the Los Angeles Rams, including a $25 million signing bonus, $71 million guaranteed, and an average salary of $20 million per year. In 2023, Ramsey will earn a base salary of $17 million while carrying a cap hit of $25 million and a dead cap value of $32 million. So, the Rams in no way are trading away Jalen Ramsey. In their secondary, he is the best player. At 28, he still got it. He came up huge for them last year on their Super Bowl run. He came up huge this year with his play. In my opinion, there's no way that the Detroit Lions will trade, and I don't think the Rams give him up at all. Now, here's something that I want you to pay attention to. Jalen Ramsey is 20. He'll be 29 for the 2023 NFL season. Before you know it, it'll be 2025. If he is not cut or traded before then, at 32 years old, Jalen Ramsey will be a free agent. Now, will he be prime? I doubt it. Not everybody can be Deion Sanders, playing at a high level, even over 30. Jalen Ramsey will be 32 when his contract is up with the Los Angeles Rams. He will be, somebody could pick him up, depends on his play, for probably a mid-tier deal. But for me, thoughts on the Lions trading for Jalen Ramsey, it's not going to happen. I know a lot of people, and they're screaming for Jalen because of Jeff Okudah, because of our situation at cornerback. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm going to tell you why. Well, one reason is the money, and I'm not sure that Jalen Ramsey fits the culture of what we're trying to do. Jalen Ramsey, in my opinion, I don't know the guy, obviously, but you have to start looking when it comes to Brad Holmes. You can't predict who he's going to draft, what they're going to do, but you can kind of narrow into the sort of player that he's looking for, because he wants a football player, right? But we don't have anyone like Jalen Ramsey on this team. We have nobody like him, and I'm not talking about skill level. I'm talking about attitude level. We don't have that guy. We don't have fights in the middle of the field. We don't have people tackling people because they have a family beef with them. We don't have that on this team. We get the typical pushing and shoving. Jalen Ramsey doesn't belong on the Detroit Lions, and that's what I want y'all to start seeing. And this isn't to Jeff or anybody else in the chat, but when it comes to your Detroit Lions, I want you to look at the history of what your GM does. Jalen Ramsey doesn't fit. Jared Goff fit this team. When Brad Holmes made the trade for Jared Goff, he fits this team. So as far as aside from the money and what the Rams would probably want for Jalen Ramsey, because Jalen Ramsey was traded for 2 first-round picks. I want to say they gave the Jacksonville Jaguars 2 first-round picks. And then they traded for Stafford, which is one of the reasons why they didn't have a couple first-round picks for a while. And I'll leave you with this about, if you look at the Jacksonville Jaguars, they used those Jalen Ramsey picks to get better. Now they're in the playoffs. We are on year 2 of the Stafford pick, and we are getting better as well. So if you read in between the lines there, I'm saying that your team is going to be better next year, and I'm thinking playoffs. Yeah, I've seen the schedule, but it doesn't matter, bro. Because going into next year, none of these teams going to scare me at all. So that's my thought on Jalen Ramsey, is not only would the Rams be stupid to do that, the Detroit Lions would be stupid to do that from a money standpoint. But as far as the team, the character of Jalen Ramsey, I'm not talking about he's a bad person. He just doesn't fit. He does not fit, bro. We need blue-collar guys. Aiden Hutchinson is not Kayvon Thibodeau. One is Hollywood. One is Woodward. One is downtown Detroit. One is factory, blue-collar. That ain't what we do. So I want y'all to think about that as we're going into free agency and the draft. I wonder if that video will do better, man, because listen, Detroit, I was proud. I'm kind of proud that the Detroit Lions, what is it? The DeAndre Hopkins video flopped, man, because that tells me that y'all smart. Y'all smart. Right now, the LA Rams finally get a first-round pick in 2024. That's if they don't make a trade. And listen, do not forget that the LA Rams tried to give up more picks. Who was it that they went after that they got declined? It was in the middle of the season. They tried to trade the Rams. I don't know who was it, y'all? I know somebody in this chat knows. The LA Rams tried to trade for somebody that would have given up a couple more first-round picks. I cannot remember who it was, but it was either before the season started or Brian Burns. There it is, Zay. Thank you. They tried to give up 2 first-round picks for Brian Burns. Okay, so that was a mistake, Jeff. Sorry about that, man. Lions Mania must be butt hiding people. Hold on, Jeff. Let me bring you back, man. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, so that's who it was. So if they would have done that, if the LA Rams, if the Carolina Panthers accepted that trade, do you know that the Rams wouldn't have had a first round pick into 2026? That will be 6 years since they've had a first round pick. We need to sign a slot corner and draft an outside guy. I believe that. Nope. Okay. Hold on. All right, Lions Mania. Let me do it, bro. Because I unhit him and then you hit him again. All right, there you go. All right, so we good now. CMC was also on the Rams' radar. Really? That is crazy. I don't know if he even would have gone to the LA Rams. The LA Rams have what do y'all think they're gonna do next year? I'm very kind of intrigued about what the LA Rams are going to do next season. Is a Super Bowl worth draft annihilation for the future? Okay, Paul, only you can answer that question. You got two sides of the coin, right? You got us. We've never been. We've never won. So what would a Detroit Lions fan be willing to sacrifice for one Super Bowl, right? Would you be willing to sacrifice one Super Bowl for 10 years of what we've been through, right? So that's a genuine question, not rhetorical. We win a Super Bowl. The next 10 years, we don't have a winning record. Camping says no. Nick says I cut my pinky off. A little can't be doing that, man. Rams may have another Lions Mania. What are you doing, bro? I already unhit. There you go. What is happening, man? I'm going to have to remove that mod tag, bro. Just nothing win, believe. Just nothing, just win it. I believe in them. Lions are building longevity, and I think we're going to see that. Stafford can't retire until 2024 because he comes back to play here. So, oh, man. So Stafford is on the Rams. He signed a 3-year extension, right? I don't know if that's through 2024 or 2025. But Stafford to be like 37 years old. Stafford to be like 37 years old, man. He'll come back and retire. Calvin Johnson and Matthew Stafford, they'll find their way back. They will find their way back for sure. But Khalif Raymond, man, wind up, before that, he wind up getting the second team All-Pro honors. And I'm happy about that, man. Raymond's been on 6 different teams. And he found a home here. We signed him to a 1-year deal for 2021. He earned himself a 2-year deal. I think it was 2-year, $14 million. So if we gave Khalif Raymond 2-year, $14 million, I think like y'all said earlier, Chark is want a little bit more. He gonna want a little bit more. But it was the free agents that I wanted to look at as we wrap up the segment. I thought it was cool as well that Josh Dobbs spent 16 days as a Detroit Lion, and his quote, he said about the culture, he said, they just get it. That's a big deal. That is a big deal when it comes to the culture in Detroit. All right, so here we go. This will be our last segment of the day and the weekend, man. It's going to be weird. It's going to be weird, man. The first, how y'all feeling, by the way, before we get into that last segment, how are y'all feeling? We have spent, it's only been 5 days without Lions football, bro. And McVay is coming back, Skater. He literally just announced it as we got on from Bleacher Report. He decided that he's going to come back. And I tell you what, if I hear next year that he doesn't know what he wants to do, if I'm LA, I'm like, bruh, you know what? You keep playing games, I gotta let you go. Queasy says I'm really feeling good. Still got an extra pep in my step, says Camping. I have never seen Nate Sudfeld throw a ball. Go back to the year that Doug Peterson got fired from the Philadelphia Eagles. You'll see him. He pulled out Hurts. I want to say he pulled out Hurts for Sudfeld when they needed to beat the Giants or something like that. Good at dialysis. My friend had dialysis, bro. He had to go 3 days a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So hang in there, Patty. It's a tough thing, man. Got to get up early. He had the early mornings. That is tough, bro. Appreciate you as well, D-Mac. They could really do some damage if they get this defense right. That, you know what, Nick? That's a fact. That is a certified fact. Oh, I almost forgot to tell y'all. It's too easy. Who goes? Him and his girlfriend, Katie. They go to every Detroit Lions game, and kudos to him. I got to show that brother some love because this brother right here, look, it's hard for me to go to Ford Field, and I live 15 miles away. Parking is ridiculous. If you're going down there, you're going to spend an easy $400. You got to leave with something. You got to eat something. You got to pay to park. You got to drink something. You're going to spend at least $400. So the fact that him and his girlfriend go to every game, but I saw them on the Lions recap thing, the 18-minute video, fantastic video. Also, I got a shot. I keep forgetting to do this. Danny Rogers has her own YouTube channel. I told her, that I was going to start promoting her channel. I don't think she's going to need my help, though, because she already got about 300 subs over there. When I found her, she popped up in my feed, and I found her. She had like 30, and she killing it over there. She is killing it. So Danny Rogers, the Detroit Lions sideline reporter, who, listen, I'm going to keep it a buck. I like Danny better than Tori Petrie. And I love me some Tori Petrie, but Danny just got some grit to her, man. You know what I'm saying? She got some grit to her. So I think she fits. Tori decided it was time for her to move on. I don't know, man. It's something about Danny, her presence. She seemed like she's the perfect fit for this regime as far as like what we're trying to do. I think she fits in perfectly. But she has her own YouTube channel, so make sure y'all guys check it out. She posts Lions content and stuff like that. I'm not too sure what is happening there, but we're going to – nope, my bad, bro. I didn't mean to do that. I just meant to put you in timeout. So let me do that. That's not what this segment was about, bro, or me mentioning Danny Rogers. So I'm not sure. You know exactly what that emoji is referring to. But I think she just fits what we're trying to do. Gritty. She's like, you know what I'm saying? Tori was kind of, I don't know, man. It's hard. I don't want to get in trouble. But she gets it. She fits. And so check out our YouTube channel. Just type in Danny Rogers, just like her name, and you'll find it. But I'm going to try to promote her and get that channel rolling over there since I have some type of pull, right? I got something in this YouTube space. But here's the last segment of the day, man. And we'll wrap it up. Appreciate y'all as usual. Lions Mania says Tori was fine, but Danny Rogers is the GOAT. Yeah, it's just something about Danny, man. The things she got with Lomas and I don't know, man. It's just like the grit. She feels like she has it. You know what I mean? Hey, absolutely, Vash. Listen, that song was about the Detroit Rams, but I'm gonna make it synonymous with this show. So they don't catch the copyright until like a day later anyway. So I get a couple, maybe 2 or 3 cents from it. But we'll do this right here. All right. We talked about yesterday that the Detroit Lions have a big offseason coming up. We got 28 free agents. We have, I want to say 17 that are unrestricted free agents. Alex Anzalone, he coming off his second 1-year deal. Khalif Raymond, he's on the team. Josh Reynolds are on the team. They're both entering the second year of a 2-year contract that was signed last offseason. So, and they both came through. Now, Josh spent some time hurt. He had a hurt back, but I think he's going to be solid next year. He's always been solid for us. And Brad Holmes is a very smart man. I can say that even though I wasn't pleased with the Jameson Williams pick, knowing that we needed defense. I saw Aiden Hutchinson. I saw Jameson Williams. Y'all all know what happened after that. And I think it was warranted. Our defense was terrible. And even though they played better as the season progressed, they're still terrible. We need some guys that are going to change this defense around. But Brad Holmes is a smart man. And one thing that when they came in, that Lions fans who actually got what he was trying to do is saying, relax, we're going to build through the draft, which is something that we haven't seen. And I think that Lions fans, they don't know about building through the draft because we are used to either draft bust, we're used to spending a bunch of money for a free agent, via a la Trey Flowers, something crazy like that. And I thought the Detroit Lions might make a little bit of a splash last year, and they didn't. Their biggest signing last offseason was DJ Chark, a injured wide receiver who had played, I want to say, 4 games in the previous season, has a surgically repaired ankle, who came to our team on a 10-year guarantee, $10 million guaranteed for 1 year. Brad Holmes, he is the dink and dunk of GMs. He's going to dink and dunk these 1 and 2 year deals, right? But will Brad Holmes make a splash this year? Do you want him to make a splash? I don't think he will. Dave Burkett says the Lions haven't spent big in free agency with Brad Holmes. That won't change in 2023. And I see what Brad Holmes is trying to do. Brad Holmes is quoted saying this: regardless of how many resources you have, how much money you can spend, we always are very selective and strategic with how we go about free agency. And this upcoming free agency, and that's upcoming UFAs, unrestricted free agents, that are on our team, as well as external ads. But it's always going to be the same approach, and I think that we've kind of proven that. That was the first order of business. And I remember being extremely critical of Brad Holmes last year when he brought back the majority of our free agency was spent while everybody else, Bobby Wagner, Allen Robinson, yada, yada, these guys and those guys, big name people. You know what we did? We signed a bunch of players who were already here. And we have to do the same thing this year. And I get I didn't get it at the time, but I get it now. I get the Khalif Raymonds. I get what we're trying to do. And like I said, the biggest move we made was DJ Chark. That was the biggest free agent move that we made. I think there's a wee bit, maybe a little bit of a bigger, but there's nobody out there. There's nobody out there. If you go to Spot Track and you go level by level by level, position by position by position, there's not a bunch of big names out there. The biggest name is Saquon Barkley. Second to him, another running back, Josh Jacobs. Not a ton of names. We need a backup quarterback. I guess you can say it's some big names out there. We might need a safety, a linebacker. So expect that the Detroit Lions are going to do the same thing. A lot of free agents on our team that we're going to want to bring back. That's 100%. And then after that, it might be a Deshaun Elliott out there. It might be a DJ Chark out there. That's as far as Brad is going. He says year one didn't have as many resources at our disposal, but we were very selective about who were the right guys, Holmes said. It's not that it was just a prove-it one-year deal, but it was the right guy. There was a ton of our options for prove-it one-year deals, but we were just really strategic and selective in getting those right guys, and we'll continue with that same plan. So again, what do you hear? Strategy, selection. They're very strategic and selective. I told you, Brad Holmes, that is the one thing that you can take away. You can't pinpoint what the man is going to do in the draft. You cannot pinpoint what he's going to, who he's going to bring in free agency. But he does have a system in place of being strategic and selective. And although we've been talking about it for the last year, that this year and next year, the 2023 offseason and the 2024 offseason, we're going to have a bunch of money, more money than we've had in a long time, to attract those big name free agents, right? Now I'm going to tell you what I wanted at the beginning of the year, but my attitude has changed. Well, it had to. There was a lot of talk in the offseason about Deebo Samuel coming to Detroit. And apparently that during the trade, the NFL draft, the Detroit Lions tried to work out a deal for Deebo. It fell through, right? There was a guy that I wanted going. I was on the fence about. I really wanted him, but now I would not have taken him. His name is DK Metcalf. He signed an extension with Seattle, so he's not a free agent anyway. Neither one of those guys are available, but heading into the year, he was my number one target for last year, for coming up this year. But that changed because I see now that DK Metcalf does not fit on this team. Mentally, he does not fit on this team. So if you look at Brad Holmes, strategy and selectiveness, those two things are what this man is going to use when it comes to this offseason and free agency. This year, when it comes to big names, there aren't any out there. Believe me when I say the biggest two names are not coming to this team. I could see a Josh Jacobs if Jamal Williams, even Jamal Williams, when he first got here, when Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell were first hired, who were the guys they brought in? Khalif Raymond, Jamal Williams. Those type of guys, right? We got the core. We're bringing most of them back. I could even see Alexander Zaloni coming back, Deshaun Elliott coming back. Expect a lot more of those moves to be made when it comes to this offseason. So I'm going to call it right now. There will be zero splash plays made this year. I do believe there will be a mid-tier. I believe this guy is a mid-tier guy. I think the biggest splash we'll see is a Daron Payne, right? That'll be the biggest splash. And who knows? Big V is out of here. We might do a splash that nobody see coming where we get an offensive lineman. So I am expecting. Last year I was caught off guard. Year one, I didn't know what they was doing. Who are these guys? Like I said, Khalif Raymond been on 6 teams. He found a home in Detroit, though. Really. After this year is up, he found a home, man. Whether it's kickoff returns, whatever it is. He found a home as far as I'm concerned. But expect no splash, no big splash, no tidal waves, just a mini ripple. It might be a twinge bigger than last year. And I think Payne would equal a DJ Chark. I think it'll be a little bit better than the DJ Chark. But expect that level. And I'm not going to be disappointed at all. I was disappointed last year. I didn't see what they were doing. I'm like, how are you going to bring back the same guys that you went 3-13 in? Because they saw what we didn't. So that is what I think the Detroit Lions are going to do in free agency. Bring back a lot of the core guys out of the 28 or 17 that they have to bring back. Make a couple moves in free agency. Nothing to shake up the NFL world. And we're going to be back at this thing next year. Let me know what you think in the comments below. But man, oh man, I appreciate y'all. What's up, Plan? What's going on? Holmes is a big bang for his buck kind of guy. Hey, he that 2 for 1, bro. He that 2 for 1. He that catch it on sale. Brad Holmes is the catch it on sale. There's a game, and I'll let this go for all my gamers out there. There's a game. It's called Returnal. Very intriguing to me. It is a rogue. My son was telling me what this is. It's a rogue light game where this game is the game that when you die, you have to start over. You have to start from the beginning. You have to complete this game in one run. It is $70 because PlayStation 5, the next generation console games are $70. Remember when we had, for those of you old enough, Super Nintendo games was $70, $80. So everybody like, oh my God, that's so much money. And I'm like, bro, you ain't been around since the 90s when Funko Land was a thing, right? When you used to go and you used to get Turtles in Time for like $95. Super Nintendo games was about $100. So they complaining and said, anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So when it comes to Returnal is $70. I am watching this game. When it goes on sale, I'll grab it. It was $29 like 2 weeks ago, and I missed it. So I am going to wait until the game goes on sale. That's what I do. I don't buy any of my games at full price unless I got to have it. A Zelda game, something like that. Uncharted, got to get it right on day one. Most of my games, I just sit there and I let them go on sale. That's Brad Holmes. Brad Holmes is a catch it on sale, bruh. He the guy that get a price adjustment. You know what I'm saying? He catch it go on sale. You know who our price adjustment dude is? DJ Chark. That's our price adjustment dude. So don't expect the Detroit Lions to make a big splash this year. I am totally okay with it. I've accepted it, and I think he's good at what he does. I just hope that this defense is not bottom tier, because that is the way that we're going to make a difference. We're going to make a difference, and it's going to be through that. So with that being said, man, I appreciate y'all. That's going to do it for this Friday show. I will see y'all next week. It's going to be weird with the Lions not being in the playoffs, man, because we were half game right there. But again, man, you guys have a great weekend. Check out the Gridiron Blitz tomorrow for some wild card football, and I'll see you next week. Go Lions.
Hello, hello, good morning. Horns is blowing, and I'm pissing off the neighbors. Whether homegrown or imported, we feeling shorted, cause we waiting on our paper. So next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Yeah, you don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the Motor City, nothing is as pretty as the hustle. You don't know about the day, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the Motor City, everything ain't pretty but it's love though. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, when we get you back on the feet. Yeah.